First question, CS, is when I read the structure of these conversations, it is for a mutually beneficial relation between Kenya and the United States. But of course, we have our concerns around the trade imbalance between the two countries. How does this seek to remedy the situation we currently have, CS?
Thank you very much. You would actually be quite surprised to learn that our trade imbalance with the US is not as bad as, say, China and India. In fact, sometimes America thinks that we have a trade surplus in our favor. But we are actually very committed to increasing our presence in the US market. Our own studies and indications from the export strategy show us that if we were even to increase our market share to 5% of the goods we currently export, like textiles and apparel, like tea, like coffee, like nuts, like floriculture, and all these other products that we already export, if we were even able to capture about 5% of that market, we would be earning nearly 2 trillion shillings in exports. So it's really our interest to pursue this agreement for our benefit as Kenya and also for the US for its own benefit and interest, because it also desires to increase its foothold in Africa, and Kenya becomes a significant gateway for that entry.
Right, CS. This trade pact with the United States comes within the context of other pacts, for example, the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, as well as the East African Community Customs Union. Some have raised concern that this pact with the United States could undermine Kenya's ties with other African states. Is this a valid concern?
In our view, it is not a valid concern. Kenya has stated severally, the president himself has stated that severally, that Kenya is committed to upholding all its trade commitments that it has entered into, both at the multilateral level, continental level, and at the regional level. And as you would have seen from our negotiating objectives, one of the principles, and actually the major one, and I think we start off with that, is that we will pay fidelity to our commitments and obligations at the regional level. This means, therefore, and the US has also assured us in many of our conversations that they are also committed to promoting regional integration, because all of us require regional integrations for greater markets and greater certainty for investments. Therefore, in our view, and as we seek, as we pursue this trade agreement, we believe that Kenya has capability and is willing to be the guinea pig to try off the negotiations with the US, so that other African countries can also do the same, because we will be the first sub-Saharan African country to have negotiated a trade agreement with the United States, and others can learn from us. If we make mistakes, they can learn from those mistakes. If we make gains, those can be inspiration for them.